Flying is an essential part of Sky. Many locations cannot be reached without this special ability, and flight allows you to accomplish and collect many more things than you would normally be able to. In this video, we're going to talk about 2 different wing modes, some advanced flying techniques, and cool locations for practicing your flying skills. You'll discover more about reaching distant places, and maybe you'll learn something that'll improve your overall flying experience. So let's get started. When the global launch for Sky arrived, that game company, or TGC, settled on a control system for flying that included a button, giving you 2 flight options: open wing and closed wing. Open wing mode gives you more flight control in the air when you're covering large distances or maneuvering to chase light fragments in a quest. In this mode, you can dive, rise, and turn at will. Pressing and holding on the screen uses your cape energy to boost your speed and increase your altitude. You can also find and use airstreams or light creatures to help you get to places that are harder to reach. Open wing mode is automatically activated when you are flying over clouds with light creatures such as birds or mantas, and during a very rapid takeoff. In addition, when in this wing mode, contrails can be seen coming from your hands. Closed wing mode, on the other hand, gives you more landing and movement control when you are working in a smaller space or trying to land in a particular spot. It is very similar to moving on the ground with a D-pad. Basically, you're dragging your character through the air. If you lift your finger from the screen while in this mode, your character will stop or slow forward momentum, giving you the ability to land in a precise spot. Note that this flight mode can only be activated while above solid ground. The wing mode icon appears on the screen once you are in the air. In one-handed mode, it will appear on whatever side you pressed to rise into the air. In two-handed mode, it will appear just above the jump button. To switch modes, simply tap that button. Now let's talk about some advanced flying techniques. These include spins, flips, and dives. To perform these, make sure your controls are in the two-handed mode, and that open wing mode, also known as glide mode, is activated. To start, we're going to do some spins. This technique requires rapid flicks or swipes on the left side of the screen, depending on which direction the player intends to turn. When swiping left or right, the avatar will twirl sideways, causing it to descend in a spiraling movement. To use this technique for rapid and sharp turns or accelerating in a certain direction, swipe sideways only once. Long calling while in open wing mode will also cause the avatar to spin, but only on the left side. These techniques are very useful if a player wants to reach a place that is very high up. Next, let's try some flips. To flip, simply follow the same method as the spin, but upwards or downwards. For this technique to prove efficient, the player needs to flick at a high speed, or else the avatar will temporarily face upwards and then return to a straight route again. This is a common way to maintain a particular altitude and prevent the character from descending when no wing and energy is left. Flips can help force your character to stay in the sky. Now for the dive technique. To dive, simply drag down on the left side of the screen. As with every other trick mentioned, this also requires the glide or open wing mode. This technique is very useful when approaching clouds to restore and replenish cape energy. Instead of using open wing mode before landing, you can also toggle closed wing mode to land safely, slowly, and precisely. Use open wing mode only when there is a need to accelerate. Finally, let me show you 7 awesome places to practice your flying skills. Number 1. The Citadel in the Valley of Triumph. Here, your wing and energy is constantly being recharged. There are light creatures and clouds everywhere, and a ton of space. It's one of the best places to fly with practically limitless energy. Number 2. The Forgotten Ark in the Golden Wasteland. In this area, you'll see a lot of butterflies, and being close to the Ark in general can restore your light. Take advantage of the large clouds and fly around this ginormous land. Number 3. Almost anywhere in the Daylight Prairie. This realm is full of light creatures to recharge with, and clouds are never too far away, especially in the Sanctuary Islands and the Bird's Nest area. Number 5. Most out-of-bound areas. Since there are rarely any boundaries in an out-of-bound location, there will be a lot of room to maneuver, so it's a great place to fly. Number 6. The Cave of Prophecies. My personal favorite place in all the realms and kingdoms of sky is this very location. After you complete the trial of air here, air currents will appear and are very helpful when you're practicing your flying. Finally, number 7. Home. It's easy to get here, and there's plenty of space to move around. The bell tower holding the Eye of Eden portal can also give you a lot of height when you need to practice jumping off of something. That's everything in this video. I hope all of this was helpful and that you learned something cool. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.